Welcome to Speak for Yourself. Marcellus Wiley here with Mr. Geronimo himself. What are you wearing?
Body day.
Upper body day? Pajama day.
Here's what it is. After our morning calls, you know what I'm saying? I get in the gym. I try to get my workouts on.
Let me see.
And when I'm feeling right, you know, we come out here and
you did some tricep dips? Is that what you did?
I did a couple.
Okay.
I can't let you catch up to me too close.
I ain't gonna ever catch that, and I'm never gonna wear that either. Over there working out so hard, boy, you need to get dressed. Let's get it started with the red-hot Cowboys, who came fully dressed in Foxborough. Ooh, Dallas was down by 3 points late in the fourth quarter, but Dak Prescott led a 9-play drive for the game-time field goal in overtime. He hit CeeDee Lamb for the game winner to extend the Cowboys' streak to 5 in a row. After the game, Dak said his offense is, quote, for real. He also suffered a right calf injury on the final play and will undergo an MRI today, but he says he'll be fine, Acho. So, what's stopping the Cowboys from winning the Super Bowl, Acho?
The Cowboys are an incredible football team, Sal, and I have been building my confidence in the Cowboys as the Cowboys have been building their W's in the win column.
Smart man.
I think that no player, no team can stop the Dallas Cowboys. Only one thing can stop the Dallas Cowboys. One thing and one thing only.
Let's go.
Mike McCarthy. That is the only thing that can stop these Dallas Cowboys. What I've realized is the Cowboys are winning in spite of Mike McCarthy. They are not winning because of Mike McCarthy. Them Dallas Cowboys are winning in spite of their head coach.
Did you roll your T?
Them Dallas Cowboys are winning in spite of their head coach. I'm thinking about 3 pivotal mistakes.
All right.
Cowboys, y'all going to Foxborough. Y'all are going to win that game. You all are the favorites in Vegas. You all are the favorites on the football field. Only one way that they can win the game is if you do some dumb things.
Yeah.
First quarter, 4th and 1, at your own 30. You go for it on 4th down. Y'all don't convert. 3 plays later, New England Patriots take the lead. Cowboys, if y'all make the Patriots play from behind, Matt Jones can't shoot out with Dak Prescott. But if the Patriots can play from in front, you can keep them in the game.
Okay.
Later on in the game, 3 minutes left, 4th and 2. Mike McCarthy, you decide to not go for it and kick a 51-yard field goal? Since 2010, just do the math. Percentages, the exact same that you can convert on 4th and 2 or that you will hit a field goal of 50+. You decide to go for it, Mike McCarthy, you don't get it. Second pivotal mistake. Third pivotal mistake. Okay, now, Cowboys, y'all got the ball back. Y'all are about to kick a field goal to tie the game up. McCarthy, let the play clock run all the way down and then call timeout to kick the field goal. Don't call timeout with 20 seconds left, 24 seconds to be exact.
Don't do that.
Kick the field goal. Now it's good, but now you give the Patriots 20 seconds to either return a kickoff back, maybe run a play, get a penalty, and now throw a Hail Mary. McCarthy made 3 pivotal mistakes in that Cowboys game. He goes for it on 4th and 1 in the first quarter. He doesn't go for it on 4th and 2 in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left. And then you leave the Patriots 20 seconds left. Nothing can stop the Dallas Cowboys. No team, at least.
No team?
The only person that can stop the Dallas Cowboys wears a star on their hat. That's head coach Mike McCarthy.
Acho, you were prepping while you were pulling and pushing out there.
Prep and curl.
Real good. There's some holes in your argument, and I would just like to highlight those holes and receive my check for doing such, because that's my job. All right, what's stopping the Cowboys from winning the Super Bowl? First thing, you already leaped past that, is the process. Let's just use simple math and logic, and let's make them meet right here. Simple math and logic would tell you you have a 1 in 32 chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But all teams aren't equal. So the Jacksonville Jaguars or Detroit Lions don't have a 1 in 32 chance. So that increases the opportunity for teams like Dallas that are uber talented and playing well. What's stopping the Cowboys from winning the Super Bowl? I just said process. Only one is going to win it, so let's just start there. Let's go to the second step. What's stopping the Cowboys from winning this Super Bowl? Well, they're going to have to face some team. One, maybe multiple teams that is going to be battle-tested and warmed up for that moment. You know about it because you were in the gym this morning. Finally, you were starting to hang a little bit, a little too much in these streets, winning in them Emmys. And Acho, you know about being warmed up, being ready for that moment.
Yes, sir.
The Dallas Cowboys, are they ready for magic moments when it comes playoff time? Let's say their adversary is the Green Bay Packers. Uh-oh. A little more ready for that moment. Let's say the adversary is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A little more ready for those moments. What's stopping the Cowboys from winning the Super Bowl is what we saw yesterday. Too many points left off the scoreboard because of their mistakes, and this team is 29th in the NFL in penalty yardage. You know what that means? Self-inflicted wounds. Now, you want to say there's no team out there that could stop the Cowboys, and I just sit there once again and say, they're 5-1. I sit there and say in logic, they've lost a game to who? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I just brought up. Point being, we know that the Cowboys can lose a game, and if you lose a game before the Super Bowl, guess what? You're not winning the Super Bowl. But let's get deeper than this. Let's get deeper than just what's obvious. And let me defend Mike McCarthy. Let me defend the star on his hat.
Please. He needs it.
Acho, how many Super Bowl rings you have?
Me either. None,
me either.
I have none.
Me either. Me either. Okay, so let's just say there was a collection of guys like us all sitting there ringless, right? And then there was one guy, just one guy. He just so happens by job title to be the leader of all of us men. And he sits there and says, do you guys want to be led to the promised land? Wouldn't we say yes? And then he would say, well, let me lead you. Why would Acho raise his hand and say, I don't know about you, coach? Why would you do that, Acho, when this guy is the reason why these guys now have the vision and actually the plan, the map to get to the promised land? There's only one head coach for this team. And this one head coach just happens to be one of 9 that has a Super Bowl ring. So you just think it's magically appearing that all of a sudden the Cowboys' aspirations of Super Bowl championship are coming out of the dust of the air, when in reality, it's because the guy who has that on his hat has actually already been there.
So
don't you ever try to interrupt me again. Sal.
My dad got his PhD, his doctorate degree in psychology several years back.
I respect that.
I respect it as well. He got it several years back. And I remember when I was maybe in high school or something, my dad is studying. He's working, arduously just studying. So I'm like, Dad, what are you studying for? PhD. And he's like, I have to retake an exam to continue to certify my degree. That's what doctors have to do every 7 to 10 years. Now even younger doctors, every 2 to 3 years. Because just because you earned a title once upon a time does not mean you are still fit educationally, does not mean you are still fit based upon qualifications of your mindset.
We're not fat shaming up here, fit.
Redeem that title. Every 7 to 10 years, doctors got to retake their board, so to speak, to maintain their title. How long ago did Mike McCarthy win a Super Bowl? I'll wait.
2010.
Seems about 7 to 10 years now. Now, if doctors,
you don't want a PhD.
If doctors got to go back to make sure they're still certified in their qualifications, don't you think you should handle, or at least you should perceive Mike McCarthy to maybe, I don't know, every 7 to 10 years, show me something.
Wow.
Because Mike McCarthy has losing seasons in 3 consecutive years. And all I'm saying is this. If I'm trusting individuals, what you mean? It's 3 consecutive losing seasons.
Retired. You break it up.
18. I'm sorry, it don't matter. Broken up and non-broken up. He still got the 3.
Break it up.
The first thing I'm looking at is Mike McCarthy. Now, because you challenged me to go a little bit deeper, and because this show, we go a little bit deeper, there is one more thing I look at, Sel, and I look at the Cowboys' run defense. Now, on paper, y'all, Cowboys' run defense looks stout. I believe they're 9th in the National Football League as far as yards per game that they allow. But they're 17th in the National Football League in yards per attempt. The Cowboys haven't been stressed as far as a run defense, but if and when they are, I think that's when they break. And Sal, let me show you, big dog.
Where you going?
I'm going to the big board, man. You know this outfit too good to sit behind a desk.
Is it?
I didn't do all these push-ups for no reason.
Presented by Haynes.
Okay.
What the hell?
Cowboys, nothing can stop y'all except your head coach, Mike McCarthy. We already established that. But I also believe that the run defense is the only other thing that might stop the Cowboys. And offensive coordinator McDaniels for the Patriots, he noticed the same thing I did. Patriots had 4 runs of 10 more yards yesterday. All season, they've only had 3. Look at the plays. The Patriots ran it twice, but boy, did they have some success. Okay, we're going to try to manipulate the Cowboys linebackers. Keanu Neal, we got Micah Parsons, and then we got a nickelback really playing a linebacker. When that guard pulls, I need you to jump and get involved in the action. You don't. Micah Parsons, your eyes are on the reverse, and all of a sudden, crease, Damian Williams out the gate, plus 11, run of 10-plus yards or more. Now, they saw this play actually earlier on in the 3rd quarter with about 11 minutes and 20 seconds left. The exact same play. Once again, when that guard pulls, I need you to get involved in the action. I know you a DB, but you got to come in and play with me now. Micah Parsons, he's moving a little too wide with that fake reverse action. And again, ball gets creased. Another run, a big gain. So I don't think the Cowboys can be stopped offensively. But between Mike McCarthy, between the run defense, I do think they are susceptible, big dog.
I can see that. I mean, look, let's just be in total defense. We know that the numbers are supporting that they're trending better this year than they were last year. But at the same time, it's the third worst pass defense. You pointed out the run defense as well. They were basically in a shootout with the New England Patriots. Look, if we're talking about Super Bowl aspirations, what also shouldn't be in that conversation is shootouts with the New England Patriots at this stage of their development. Look at the Dallas Cowboys and their talent level. It has to materialize to be a greater distance between them and teams like the New England Patriots. I don't want to keep defending Mike McCarthy, but
you shouldn't. Because you're going to go down with him.
No.
You're going to go down with him, if you keep doing this now.
Only
go down.
34 head coaches have won a Super Bowl in NFL history, and 13 have won more than one. So he is sitting there, in my math, 14th all time of all head coaches, because only 13 have won multiple, 34 have won one. But you want to slight that guy, and you want to also make them redeem their certificate. Okay, you can go there, but you can't go here with me.
Where?
The Dallas Cowboys, when they get to those money moments, those magic moments, Ezekiel Elliott, talk about him. Where was he yesterday? Okay, not the same, but look, 4.1. We ain't tripping on the yards per carry. A little down from his season average, but still good enough, efficient enough. Dak Prescott took over that game. You know what took over that game? The fact that they have so many weapons. I can tell you what happened without going to the big board and sweating. If you look, shut up, really silly, because you know it happened. Here's the thing that happened to the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. When you saw Bill Belichick have to go and double team players that typically don't get double teamed, like a Schultz down in the red zone, you start to realize that they have so many weapons that you got to pick your poison with the Dallas Cowboys. So what do? They picked their poison and trying to stop the running game. Dak Prescott went off. You look at them picking their poison and trying to stop that running game, all of a sudden receivers go off. CeeDee Lamb is like, oh, you're going to double team Schultz? Well, thank you very much. I will go off. That's why I have so much confidence in the Dallas Cowboys. But what's going to stop them from winning the Super Bowl? It's like anything. That moment when it comes Green Bay versus Tampa Bay last year. Green Bay flinched going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why? Because their leader was Tom Brady. The leader of this team is Dak Prescott. But he is a lone ranger in terms of that maturity and leadership, and I think that's going to come up to bite him.
So what I think is, if all things are equal, which they are for the Dallas Cowboys talent-wise with every other team in the National Football League, at this point, based on Dak Prescott's ascension, I think the Cowboys roster can keep up with anybody else's roster based on Dak Prescott's ascension.
When does that ever matter, though?
So what's the differentiating factor? For me, it's coaching. Talk Packers, Bucks game. We know what came down to that 3rd and 8, came down to that 4th.
That wasn't coaching.
It was.
That was Aaron Rodgers saying,
But Matt LaFleur did not go for it, and that ended up being the difference in the game.
Okay, go for it.
We can talk because you was at the game. Cowboys-Chargers, I believe you were there. Remember when Mike McCarthy, he kicks a 56-yard field goal, still gets bailed out by the grace of God. Greg LeMay did it for him.
Young Jeezy.
But why did you not call timeout sooner? Run a play, run a quick out, do something, get closer so that Greg the Leg ain't got to kick a 56-yarder and bail you out.
Kellen Moore is sabotaging him. That's Kellen Moore's play. You know it is, but I'm going to let you know.
Time management is on Mike McCarthy. Kellen Moore is on play calling.
He got a lot on his plate.
But time management is Mike McCarthy.
You better watch that relationship. I'm just letting you know.
If all things are equal and everything is equal for the Cowboys, they're as talented as the Bucks, they're as talented as the Rams, they're as talented as the Cardinals, they're as talented as the Ravens, they're as talented as the Bills. The Chiefs ain't playing really well right now, so I don't even want to put the Chiefs in the conversation. Cowboys are as talented as the Packers. Then I look at who has the coach that helps or who has the coach that hurts. The Cowboys are winning in spite of Mike McCarthy.
Who has the coach that gets them over the hump? Right. Because last year I looked at this team. They were 17th ranked in points. Quarterback missing most of the season, obviously. This year they're second. I look at the coach that gets the improvement from 14th ranked to 1st ranked in terms of yards. And in any other situation, you would give that credit to the coach. Say, oh, he's navigating them in the right way. Same way in Green Bay. His first year. Oh, here you go. First year in Green Bay, 8-8. Second year in Green Bay, 13-3. Oh, and what did I tell you when they hired him? It's going to go like this. And what is it they doing right now? Just that. Now, when I predict that, it's only prediction because I know his resume. I know how Mike McCarthy puts his fingerprints of success on an organization. He's done this before. He's doing this again. But you don't want to make the attachment between what he's done before and what he's doing right now.
Because there is, and we've talked about this before, an erroneous correlation. The reason Mike McCarthy is doing this is because he started here because Dak Prescott got hurt. Dak Prescott came back, hence the ascension. The ascension is not on Mike McCarthy. The ascension is on Dak Prescott.
Riding Aaron Rodgers before, riding Dak Prescott now. Excuse me, Bill Belichick had to ride Tom Brady, even though he helped groom him and helped make him. Point being, what coach is out there winning games without their star quarterback, franchise quarterback? Ask Pete Carroll about that right now. Ask Sean Payton about that right now.
Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin.
Oh, stop.
Mike Tomlin has a winning record without them.
They just beat Geno Smith. They just beat Geno Smith.
I'm saying,
stop
if you look at the Cowboys, what's the Cowboys' biggest weak link? That's really all it comes down to.
Biggest weak link.
It's not the offensive line because they've been balling.
No.
It's not the running back no more. They've been balling.
Mind over matter.
It's not Dak Prescott.
Mind over matter.
It's not the receivers. He's been balling. It's not the pass rush. He's been balling. It's not the DBs. They've been balling.
It ain't the pass rush.
No, I said it ain't the pass rush. They've been balling.
No, they haven't been balling.
Randy Gregory? Yesterday?
You can name a guy. I can name a guy, too. They're 22nd in getting after the quarterback. Like, is that balling or is that, you got Randy Gregory when he out there doing his thing? DeMarcus Lawrence?
He ain't even in right now.
Thank you. That's my point. They ain't getting after the quarterback. But keep going. I don't want to interrupt you with facts.
It's not the DBs. So it's the linebacking core and the stand-up linebacking core, not to be confused with the pass-rushing linebacking core. And it is the head coach.
Are you playing Madden right now? Because I just finally played Madden the other day at my little cousin's birthday party. Here's the thing. Madden's fun. I've been off since 1995. I've been off him, and I don't want to get hooked on it, but you're playing Madden right now.
Why you say that?
Because they have this thing called overall score. I noticed this, and everybody picks the team with the highest overall score, right? You know about that. That's what you're doing right now. You overall talent. I'm picking that team. That team doesn't always win a championship. Last year, you can make the argument it did because they added a leader to all of that talent. But Dak Prescott is the proper leader for this team. So does he have the support and leadership when you're going to need it in those magical moments? The thing that's going to stop the Cowboys is not talent. It's not coaching. It's not play calling. It's, are you ready for when it's presented to you?
Who gets them ready?
Exactly.
A loss.
Exactly. A loss coming up. That's why we both haven't won. We're not done talking about Dak. We'll tell you if he cemented his MVP status on Sunday. But first, Baker Mayfield had turnover and injury concerns in yesterday's loss. I'll tell you if it's time to worry about the Browns quarterback. That's next. Don't speak for yourself. You got this team looking like that. Not me.
This week on Thursday Night Football, Baker Mayfield and the Browns face off against Teddy B. That's that boy Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos. 7:30 Eastern on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. Well, speaking of Baker, the Browns quarterback was outplayed by his former college teammate Kyler Murray in Sunday's loss to the 6-0 Arizona Cardinals. Baker finished with 3 turnovers and re-aggravated his non-throwing shoulder in the third quarter. Baker said it, quote, feels like please, but added that he'll absolutely play this Thursday. Sal, is it time to worry about Baker Mayfield?
Oh, it's been time to worry about Baker Mayfield. He's just giving us more to worry about lately. These Go Baker cards that you keep passing out in this deck that is endless, infinite, I don't know how many cards are in there, but the decks I play with, you only get 4 Go Baker cards, right? After that, you're making them up. And I think we just ran out of Go Baker cards. Let's go through these Go Baker cards. Playing the Kansas City Chiefs week 1, you know, late game, winning drive, don't throw it to the other team. Go Baker, he did. Okay. To the game that I was there to watch live and in attendance against the Chargers. Go Baker, game-winning drive. Oh, 3 check down Charlies, threw the ball to the end of his nose. Okay, go Baker. Now you go into a game, and this was a prime matchup against the Arizona Cardinals, and you're facing that team, and you don't have Nick Chubb. Okay. Go Baker. We can now put a little more on your shoulders because our show keeps telling me that Baker is selfless. Baker is playing his role properly. They don't ask him to do much. Hey, when you're compromising the running game, they do ask you to do a little more. But here's the last Go Baker card. Remember, only 4 in the deck. Oh, what happened to Kareem Hunt? He gets injured. Carted off, right? So now we don't have a running game. Go Baker. Can you now climb us out of this hole? Oh, no, never mind. We get blown out by the Arizona Cardinals. The point is, it's been time to worry about Baker Mayfield. And now there's just a panic button and an alarm going off that he won't answer. Baker's ranked 16th in a franchise quarterback contract year. I'm going to say that again. I've been in contract years, but I ain't never been in a franchise quarterback contract. Are you kidding me? I would never be 16th ranked in anything when the money's on the line, but he is. 13th ranked in completion percentage. He is. He's 21st in yards per game. 21st. Jalen Hurts is beating him. Yo, boy. Good. No. 25th in the league, what matters most. Throwing the ball to your receivers for touchdowns. Only 6. Taylor Heineke is beating him. Okay. Baker Mayfield finds himself in this position now where he has a compromised running game, and they know that they want to put more on his shoulders, but he's not ready for that moment. So is it time to worry about Baker Mayfield? Unless you're not hearing that alarm that he's hearing and not answering, it's been time to worry about this dude.
I don't like the way you're talking to me.
I don't like how I feel talking about Baker Mayfield like this. This ain't right, but this is my job.
You know this, and you know this best.
What?
Nobody can talk about your family except for you. And Browns, y'all drafted me. Y'all cut me a little check. Browns fans, I've been rooting for the dog pound. So Browns, y'all know y'all family. And as someone who's a part of the family, I gotta speak truth. It's been time to worry about Baker Mayfield. And it's because the NFL, it is goal-oriented, not task-oriented. Baker's actually been better than his former self. Completion percentage, highest of his career. He's on pace for more yards than he's ever had in his career. He's on pace for just as few interceptions as he's ever had in his career. He's throwing for a furthest yards per attempt of his career. So Baker has actually been better than his former self. Outside of touchdowns, Baker, you know better than anybody. We need to see more.
Yes.
But why am I so worried about Baker? Because the people that he's losing to are younger than him.
Oh, my.
Kyler Murray, 24 years of age. Baker Mayfield is 26. Justin Herbert, 23 years of age. Baker Mayfield lost to him. Patrick Mahomes, still younger than Baker Mayfield by about 150 days, if I'm not mistaken. So not only, Baker, are you not the best, but those that are better than you are younger than you. So anything that I, as an optimistic Browns fan, want to apply to Baker Mayfield, he'll continue to get better. He's only 4 years in. He's still growing. Well, you can apply that to all these other quarterbacks. Kyler Murray, he's only going to get better. Patrick Mahomes, he's still growing. Justin Herbert, he's only going to get better. Here's my worry with Baker Mayfield. Kyler Murray couldn't see the field at the University of Oklahoma because of you, Baker Mayfield. But now in the NFL, Kyler Murray is currently better than you. Joe Burrow, from the bench, not the backup, but the third stringer at Ohio State, watch you march into the shoe, playing a flag at Ohio State. As Joe Burrow watches J.T. Barrett and Dwayne Haskins ahead of him. But Joe Burrow, now in the league, is playing better than you, Baker Mayfield. So my fear and why I'm worried about Baker is not that Baker has not gotten better. I'm worried about Baker because people that are younger than him are surpassing him, and that's the worst thing that can happen in your industry.
Say it. In your industry, in your life. Ooh, that's why you shouldn't go to the club once you get married, huh? Who said that? Just because they're younger. Hey, maybe Baker needs to go out a little more and go out and realize that he needs to compete in different ways. One thing I did love about just going outside and not just getting a breath of fresh air, but just kind of living through that relative experience. You can go to some neighborhoods through Los Angeles, just take a drive, and you're going to see some things that's going to humble you. You're going to see some homes on top of hills. You'll be like, damn, who is that? And then you're going to drive by some areas where you're going to be like, damn, I got to hurry up and get up out of this. And you're going to find where you fit. I knew Baker Mayfield was lost when I saw that Baker Mayfield didn't even know where he fit in his own draft class. Compete at least against your draft class. Who's in this draft class? Is Lamar Jackson in this?
Yes, sir, he is.
Is Josh Allen in this?
Yes, sir, he is.
Man, nah. You can't lap me like this if you Josh Allen or certainly Lamar Jackson. But now, not only have those guys passed him up, okay, that's fine. But you're letting the youngsters, as you point out, pass him up. And more importantly, Baker Mayfield, you're letting your old self be better than the new version of yourself. We want to talk about all the statistical categories where Baker Mayfield is showing some signs of improvement, late blooming, right? But touchdown percentage, which matters most to a team, like you getting that ball in that end zone, is the worst of his career. Like, Baker, what is going on? Like, what you're doing is going between the 20s with the running game, and then, hey, you're standing on the shoulders of your running backs. When your running backs are not there, how far are you going? How high can you stand? I'm looking at Baker Mayfield right now leading a Browns offense in the passing game that is 26th ranked. You can't can't get paid off of a 26th ranking in the passing game when you're the franchise quarterback. You add it all up, man. Baker Mayfield is really struggling not only against the opponents, not only against the younger opponents he's seeing, but the younger version of himself. I don't see the maturity. I don't see the blossoming that I was expecting to see, especially from a guy in a contract year.
Well, I'm not going to continue to beat him up without singing some praise. Baker Mayfield, tough as nails. I'm watching that joint.
Tough as nails?
Tough as nails.
Oh, you went
there. When I saw J.J. Watt land on that shoulder and Baker's whole shoulder twist out of socket and it's already in the cast, J.J. sitting there on the knee like, hey, trainer.
Yeah.
And Baker still gets up calmly
Let's see.
Ugh.
Come on, man. You want to talk about that play? You want to do this? Let's break down.
I don't even want to. You think he should have got rid of the ball?
He shouldn't be in that position. Okay. This is my problem. He Braveheart. William Wallace, as they call him. He Braveheart. He's going to get beheaded. That's what happened at the end of that movie. The end justifies the means. Baker Mayfield wants to compete in ways that don't matter.
Why you call him Baker Mayfield?
I hate you. Love me. Here's the thing. This dude competes in the way. That is frat boy fresh. If that's my teammate, one, get rid of the ball. Two, if you're not going to get rid of the ball, protect yourself. I fell on this set. And in the middle of my fall, in the air, me, retired, fat, with a bad hip, realized I need to fall correctly. Because, you know what? At my age, it ain't going to feel so good. Baker, you already walked into this game with a compromised shoulder. Who in the hell falls like that? What hill are you trying to die on for that one play? Tom Brady and Peyton Manning should have had a baby on that play. Called get rid of the ball and live for the next play. Be real. Be real.
Okay, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Come on, man.
You're not wrong.
Oh, my shoulder again. Come on, man.
Here's the focal point. To bring it all down, the real focal point is this. I'm not asking Baker Mayfield to be better than Tom Brady.
Okay.
Tom Brady's at the end of his career. I ain't asking Baker Mayfield to be better than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers at the end of his career. Probably got 4 or 5 good ones left, but hopefully for the other quarterbacks, it's only 4 or 5. But Baker, you can't be surpassed by Burrow, by Kyler, by Allen, by Herbert, by Jackson, by Murray. You can't be surpassed by all of these individuals that are younger than you. Because now, Sel, as a Browns fan that I am, I'm struggling to find the optimism. Optimism can lie either in what currently exists or what is going to exist.
Yeah.
But if Baker Mayfield is only going to get passed by cats younger than him, where's the optimism? Personalize it, Sel.
Let's go.
I said it like this, big dog. I'm trying to be the best on television. You know this. We talk about this pre-show. We talk about it every commercial break.
I respect it.
But I also know this. It's a bunch of cats that have been in this game much longer than I that are currently better than me. But I know this much. I ain't going to let nobody younger than me be better than me. I promise. I will make that commitment to y'all right now.
Really? How old is Malika Andrews?
Right, and Chanae. Those two are coming. But I ain't going to let nobody younger than me be better than me. Because if you younger than me and better than me, all hope is lost.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, it's fine to let those older than you be better than you. Eventually, they going to move on. You would hope for your own sake. But you cannot let 23-year-old Herbert, 24-year-old Murray, 25-year-old Burrow, 25-year-old Lamar, 25-year-old Allen, 26-year-old Mahomes, you can't let all them be better than you. Otherwise, I have no place to set my optimism.
I love everything you just said, and everything you just said was authentic. You really lived that. But if you ever give me eye contact when you said, don't let nobody be younger and better than you, and I'm working with you and you're younger, are you better? You think you slick trying to slide that one in. It hurt right here. Baker Mayfield. All right, this is it. Because I wanted to let you go on that note because it was buttoned up and it was well done. But I can't because people think I hate this dude. I just, man, I should. Man, you know what it is? I am so married to logic. I'm so married to numbers. I'm so married to facts.
Yes, sir.
It hurts me at times. At times I had to look in the mirror and be like, dog, you ain't it. Stop talking to yourself like you are. You can wear those chains and wear those sweatsuits and go around them cars all you want. On that field, you ain't it. And I had to come to that realization. So I've lived by the sword, and I'm going to die by the sword. And I'm also going to swing the same sword. Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Deshaun Watson, and Dak Prescott are all in a huddle. And they say, we need one more quarterback to get this. Baker, come on in. Now that's them 5, right? Who do you think has the worst win-loss percentage? You already know. Baker, the one they added on, but that's okay. Who do you think has the worst completion percentage? Now, it's not fair to have Dak and Deshaun in here right now, so let's just really focus in on Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. Passing yards per game. Passer rating? Baker Mayfield worse than those two guys in their career? You keep telling me he's getting better. I keep hearing Jared Goff is getting worse. I keep hearing Carson Wentz is a yo-yo. Depends on if he's healthy. The point is, if Baker Mayfield's your franchise quarterback, what is a franchise quarterback to the Cleveland Browns? Coming up, another week, another win for the Cowboys. We'll tell you if Dak Prescott has cemented his MVP status. Next on Speak for Yourself, as we figure out some young hosts out there. Who else is going? Who else is going? Dak Prescott and his Cowboys are on the roll. Roll out. He threw the game-winning touchdown pass in overtime Sunday to beat the Patriots. And Dallas is now 1-5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight games, and Dak is in the top 5 in touchdown passes and passing yards. Currently, he has the third best MVP odds according to Fox Bet Sportsbook, behind Kyler Murray and Josh Allen. So, Acho, has Dak cemented his MVP status?
Marcellus Wiley, yes, he has. And I'm not going to make this dramatic, right? Y'all want to make, oh, my God, we converted Acho into a believer. Acho, no, there's no more room on the Dak Prescott bandwagon.
8 mile time. Don't try to beat yourself up. We're going to do it. We got you.
So,
yes.
If it's sunny outside and you ask me if it's raining, I'm going to tell you, no, it's sunny outside. Now, I might see rain clouds in the distance, but if you ask me if it's raining, I'm going to tell you, no, it's sunny outside, because it's sunny outside. And my job is to tell you what I'm seeing as I'm seeing.
And you pick the day it's raining in L.A. The one day it's raining out here.
As a sports analyst, right now, Dak Prescott is in the MVP conversation. He has cemented himself and his MVP status. But had he back then? No. Has he right now? Yes. Sale, can I
you just got it on prop alert.
Can I go back?
Go back, dog.
Can I go back?
Yeah.
Now
Go back to sleep
this time because I broke a sweat last time. I ain't sweating.
Go back to sleep, pajama man.
Dak Prescott, he cemented himself. He cemented his MVP status. On this show, it's facts over feelings. I'm not saying this emotionally. I'm saying this facts-based. I told y'all a couple weeks ago, let's look at it again. What is the making of an NFL MVP? On average, you got to be ranked between first and second in passing touchdowns. You got to be ranked 6th on average in passing yards. And when it comes down to total touchdowns passing plus rushing, on average, you have to be first. Now, Cowboys fans, y'all got mad at me 3 weeks ago when I said Dak Prescott wasn't in the MVP conversation. And he wasn't. Because at the time, he was 10th in touchdowns, he was 10th in passing yards, and he was 10th in total touchdowns. But right now, Dak is absolutely, unequivocally, beyond the shadow of a doubt in the conversation. Because he's 3rd in touchdowns, he's 5th in passing yards, and he's tied for 4th in total touchdowns. On this show, it's facts over feelings. Dak Prescott has cemented his MVP status fact-based, not feeling-based. I'm going back to the big board, and I'm bringing the raw ball.
You're going to go back to the big board again another time. I know you are, but you come back to the desk right now. You tired?
I'm tired.
Oh, that weightlifting. Why don't you do some cardio?
I don't do cardio.
I can tell. I can tell you don't do cardio. You need to get leaner. You look like me over here. Look at me. Well, who look better right now? You at 30 or me at 46? Admit yourself. I look good. All right, can I breathe? All right, I'm not going to chastise you right now.
You can't.
I'm not. See? Now you're going to lose your grace and mercy. I can't. I said I'm not, but that doesn't mean I can't. You are funny. I wish I grew up with you because I know so much about you now. I can just imagine if I was there to experience it. It would just fill in some of the blanks that I have. You come up here and start off. Let me answer the question. Dak has been an MVP candidate. Cemented his status now for those who are late to the viewing party. Yeah, but I came early. I brought the dip. I brought the chips. I knew that Dak was going to be there, and he was there from hello. Now, you bring up an example talking about, is it raining outside or is it sunny outside? We didn't ask you that early on in the season. We just said, how's the weather? And you know what you told us? It's raining. But you were really waiting on that one day that it actually rained, which is actually today in L.A. That's who you are, Acho. You're the person that I hate to get in a fight with because they always use these 2 tricks that I always see coming. Duck it, duck it. You always want to bring up receipts late. So you're the one at Best Buy talking about, I know 30 days went by, but here you go. And they're like, can you get out of line, sir? Customer service over there. Yes, you. Or people just get tired of fighting with you. You just have this energy. You're the youngest, I could tell. You just got this endless energy to fight. And people are like, dog, we're over that. We've been over that Dak is an MVP conversation. We've been over the fact that Dak is cemented his MVP status. Now, let me tell you why. Because Dak Prescott is in a conversation that nobody else is in, if you really want to be respectful. Only quarterback, top 5 in passer rating, passing touchdowns, completion percentage, and passing yards per game. He's not number one. That's Kyler Murray. And don't get me started on that one. I'm not going to try and punch down on Dak Prescott and his tremendous year this year. But at the same time, Kyler Murray is outperforming Dak Prescott in totality. Plus, his team has added it up to having no blemishes in the loss column. That said, there's only one thing you can really look at Dak this year and say, could get a little more out of you. And that's in giveaways. Even on the goal line yesterday. Like, Dak is 7th in the league in giveaways right now. That's not where you want to be if you're trying to win the MVP. But all that said, I like to take because you've arrived. But please don't act like what's here hasn't been here, because Dak has been playing like an MVP.
So, it hadn't been there. Here's what I don't get. Go.
Let me it wasn't there. Dog. It wasn't there after week 1, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick.
After week 3, Dak Prescott was 10th in yards, 10th in touchdowns, 11th in total touchdowns.
What?
At the time in which you asked me the question, because you asked me the question, because you selfishly be reading all the prompters. When you asked me the question, I answered the question honestly.
You did.
Again,
let me do this.
Just because there's a cumulus cloud out there that's telling me it's going to rain in a couple days off in a distance, you said, is it sunny outside? And it was sunny. So when you asked, is Dak an MVP candidate, at the time, he was not. I'm happy for you that bet and guessed right. You don't really win nothing, but I'm happy for you to be able to say that you bet and guessed right.
Now you bet.
But now, I've seen the information that is truthful and accurate. See, you were speaking in hyperbole 3 weeks ago, because Dak wasn't an MVP candidate 3 weeks ago,
really?
Sir. Dak is an MVP candidate here today, and I'm acknowledging that, truthfully saying it boldly.
You done or you finished?
I'm finished.
You finished? Okay. It's amazing. Okay, you know me. Nothing better than beating you up than using your hands to fight yourself. And I'm going to use your hands and slap Acho up, and Acho doing it, and I can't go to jail for it. Here's the thing. After week 3, Dak Prescott, the Dackery Prescott, had 6 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions and a quarterback rating of 110.
Cool.
Okay? Now we know that Dak is killing the game, but his quarterback rating is 113 overall. You know what that tells me? That he's been here.
It tells you nothing.
It tells you
nothing, because that doesn't tell you context. This is what you do.
Okay. Oh,
I
love this.
What
you gonna be the mirror?
Do.
Let's go. What's that?
Well, you know, one of the best questions you need to ask in life, and this is, we're pivoting a little bit, but one of the best questions that anybody should ever ask in life, what's it like to sit on the other side of me?
Oh,
it's a deep question. What's it like to, and let me tell you what it's like to sit on.
I could call Anna Marie right now. It's good. All right, no, I hear it every night.
Let me tell you what it's like. What it's like is this, Marcellus Wiley.
God.
You provide me information without any sort of context. And information without context is irrelevant.
Okay.
Because, yes, Dak Prescott had 6 touchdowns through 3 weeks, but Tom Brady had 10. So Dak Prescott's 6 mean nothing in comparison to the 10. The amount of money that Emmanuel Acho has means nothing if you're asking if I'm one of the wealthiest people in L.A., because I need to know what's the wealth everywhere else. So you could be like, yeah, but Acho just signed a 7-figure deal. Cool. Don't mean nothing if somebody signed an 8. I don't care about Dak's 6 touchdowns if somebody has 10. But now Dak Prescott is top 5 in all of the meaningful categories. So now I'm all ears. But don't give me no information without context, because that's what it's like to sit on the other side of you.
Yeah, no lies. No lies told. I don't have emotional context because I don't have emotions. I bring these facts every single day, and it's going to kill you, and it's going to kill me to sit here against you. Was Dak playing at an MVP level week 1? Yes. You know why? Because he outperformed the team that he lost to. Whatever you want to say, you couldn't dismiss him out the conversation. Even if you didn't want to insert him, you can't kick him out the club, right? Week 2. You're looking like, that wasn't the best Dak, actually your worst game of the year. But it was against the Chargers. You had the strong running game. You win that game, so people kind of give you a pass when you win the game. Every game since then, good Lord, week 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on. Where are you, Acho, in terms of this revelation? I think if I'm going to talk for Cowboys fans, and I hate to generalize, Cowboys fans are sitting there saying, Acho, where you been, bruh? Like, Dak's the reason we're in this position. Dak's been playing at this level. He had a 143 passer rating, the highest of the year in week 3. But you keep coming up to me, running to the big board, telling me after week 3 he wasn't in this conversation. Make that make sense.
I will do it very easily, and I will do it very simply for you. An MVP level, Sel, that questioned it's irrelevant. You don't know what an MVP level is because it moves year to year. Adrian Peterson in 2012 was playing at an MVP level when he rushed for 2,097 yards, had 12 touchdowns, 131 rushing yards a game. So in theory, Last year, Derrick Henry was playing at an MVP level because he had 2,027 rushing yards, 17 touchdowns, more than Adrian Peterson, rushed for 127 yards a game.
Where you going?
We didn't mention Derrick Henry in MVP conversation because MVP level moves from year to year, from week to week, from player to player.
Oh, I know.
So Dak Prescott wasn't playing at an MVP level week 1 because 3 touchdowns and 1 interception is irrelevant if somebody else, Jameis Winston week 1, is throwing for 5 touchdowns and no interceptions.
How'd that turn out?
MVP level is always dependent upon context. 6 weeks in, with full context, I can boldly and proudly say Dak Prescott is playing at an MVP level. But let's not act like that means anything from week 5 or it means anything for week 7. It matters right here and right now in week 6.
I would call this a draw. You know why? Just because I want to get out of this ring, towel off, and go to the club.
So you're Deontay Wilder.
I want to get knocked out in the process of getting there. But to your point, Dak Prescott has picked it up, but he's picked it up since
get him out of there, ref.
Coming up, Sunday did not go as planned for Justin Herbert. See, I told you, you tire people out. We'll tell you if the Chargers' blowout loss changed our opinion on the quarterback next on Speak for Yourself. Time out. Just time out. Sunday's marquee quarterback matchup did not go Justin Herbert's way. My Chargers are blown out by Lamar Jackson's Ravens. Oh, my goodness. Herbert finished with under 200 passing yards and just under a 68 passer rating. Yup. Both numbers were his lowest this season. So, Acho, did the Chargers' blowout loss change your opinion of Justin Herbert?
Not at all, but because my opinion of Justin Herbert was accurate before the blowout loss. Remember, my opinion of Justin Herbert was that he's going to have to take a lash, a lump. He is going to have to traverse a hill that people like Lamar Jackson have already climbed.
Say it.
So I'm reminded of whenever you deal or see a child prodigy, and I went to school with several child prodigies. Remember, I went to that all-boys, super dorky high school, St. Mark's, now super genius high school. Yeah. But we are some super nerds. Cats were composing poetry, not poetry. Cats were composing like real orchestra symphony pieces at ages 12 and 13.
Like, wasn't you, though?
Not me.
Yeah, I can tell by the way you described that.
No, I can compose a sentence at 12. Cass was out here really smart.
Yeah.
But then every now and then, you would see him throw a temper tantrum, and you would be reminded that just because you are brilliant in some aspects doesn't mean you're not still young. Right? Like, just because you can compose and just because you can recite Shakespeare's opening lines of this play and that play doesn't mean you're not still young. Justin Herbert, just because you can throw for 31 touchdowns in a season doesn't mean you're not still young. Justin Herbert, just because you could lead your team with the first-year head coach to several wins and only 1 loss and big-time wins doesn't mean you're not still young. And when I watched the game against the Ravens, I was reminded that, yes, while Herbert is a football prodigy by every measure, not only in stature but also in talent, he's also still young. And so, no, blowout loss didn't change my opinion at all of Herbert.
Thought I was going to have to fight with you on this one because you know I go to bat for my Chargers. I also go to bat for Justin Herbert. I also go to bat for Lamar Jackson. I also go to bat for the Ravens. So, damn it, I'm all over the place on this one. This one hurt, even though the Ravens came out there and handled business. My opinion of Justin Herbert will not change. Why? Because Justin Herbert did what the gifted do. They make a mistake. They have bad games. This happens to everybody. Let me give you guys a reminder about who Justin Herbert is, just in totality. Only one of 3 quarterbacks in NFL history, the other 2 being Kurt Warner when he came from bagging them groceries, and he was killing it, and Patrick Mahomes, the young GOAT, as everyone tells me. Only one of those 3 quarterbacks in history with 45 passing touchdowns and over 6,000 passing yards in the first 21 quarterback starts. Oh, I'm sorry, his 21st start didn't go as well as the other 20. My bad. Here's who Justin Herbert is for y'all, and then I'm going to get to Acho's point, which was a tremendous point. I wanted to compare Justin Herbert to the top of the top, the creme de la creme. The last 5 MVPs. And see, throughout their 16-game performances, did they ever give me something that Justin Herbert just gave me yesterday? Oh, my God. Did Marcellus find that last year Aaron Rodgers had a game with worse completion percentage, a worse touchdown-interception ratio, and worse passer rating, 35 last year? Yes, I did. Did I see that happen with Lamar Jackson when he was a unanimous MVP? Did I see him have a 54 passer rating and 1 touchdown, 3 interception game? Yes, I did. And was a unanimous MVP. Y'all better stop. Y'all know I'm going to keep going. Patrick Mahomes had the worst game, completion percentage, touchdown, interception, pass rate. Tom Brady did it the year before. And even Matt Ryan went out there and gave you a stanker. The point is, Acho brought it up, but I'm going to really highlight it. When you're young and gifted, a lot of times you will talk to that person or think of that person as they're not young and gifted. My psychiatrist, my therapist always tells me this. He's like, be careful, especially being a man talking to your son. He says most men talk to their sons like they're older. You're trying to raise him, trying to make him a man and all that kind of stuff. He said, be careful, remind yourself, he's only 6. And I just had to remind myself when I'm looking at Justin Herbert, oh, it's only his 2nd year in terms of him being a quarterback. When you're young and you're gifted, my wife and I have this conversation all the time. You can be a genius, but what's natural is a temper tantrum. What's natural is a bad game. What's natural even to Aaron Rodgers the great, Tom Brady the great, etc., is a bad performance. All we saw out of 21 performances was a bad performance, but we're not going to exaggerate that.
We're not at all, but what we are going to do is put things in context. The word today is context. So, Justin Herbert reminds me of Orgeron Knighton. Time for track. Orgeron
Knighton, the dude that run the 200.
Orgeron Knighton, he runs the 200. He broke Usain Bolt's youth under 17 200-meter record.
He did.
Orgeron Knighton is a dude. Maybe just turned 18. I don't even know. Yeah. But when it got time for the Olympics, we were reminded that while you are a dude, maybe the best ever at your age, there are still levels to this.
Okay, let's go.
And I think watching that game yesterday reminded me that there are still levels to this.
Let's go.
Justin Herbert is a dude. He is the best at his age. However, when he stepped on that same field with Lamar Jackson, who too is the best at his age, it reminded me that there are levels to this.
Really?
Lamar Jackson, he's still, even in some turnovers, because he threw a couple interceptions, Lamar Jackson still in the moment of that adversity was like, oh, wait, no, I am still the better quarterback on this field right now. I think I'm reminded that Justin Herbert is phenomenal, but as I look at it, there are still the levels of Tom Brady, and even still the levels of Dak Prescott as it pertains to statistically this season. So I'm not taking anything away from Justin Herbert, but I do think we need to remember, while he is the best at that age, it's not as though he's the best, period.
Who's the best, period? Of the young quarterbacks, we're going to get into that later, but who's the best, period? It's fluid. Let's be real. I mean, but coming into this season, we have Patrick Mahomes at a greater distance than we do right now, right? It's fluid. You look at Justin Herbert before this game, you had him closer to Patrick Mahomes than you do maybe right now on Monday afternoon. Lamar Jackson, you keep moving him up, and reluctantly people move him up because they're like, I just don't see it, but you keep seeing the results. Point being, you give me Orgeron Knighton, I push back at you with somebody who's older than him.
Please do.
Who was expected to show out at the Olympics. And you can't say it was his age. You can't say it was his youth. Trayvon Bromell. How he turned out at the Olympics. Dude, 26 years old, which is prime, if not getting close to coming down that hill in track, at least, depend on how natural you are. But the point is, Trayvon Bromell, older, and didn't just show up. If my man Justin Herbert, who lost last year, 45 to donut to Cam Newton and the Patriots, turned out to be who this Justin Herbert is. And now he loses a game and gets smoked by Lamar Jackson. Please don't think this dude won't respond, because he's responded already. And don't think that the Chargers won't respond, because they responded already. Last year, we were reminded of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, win a Super Bowl championship, run the table after going 7-5. But didn't they lose a game 38-3? Yes, they did. So all these things are redeemable. Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers.
I'm not saying it's not redeemable, but I'm saying did it change my opinion? No.
Okay, good.
But it reminded me. It sounded like when we watched that, when watching that Sunday night game last night, unfortunately we saw, I believe his name is Darrell Taylor. Darrell Taylor, his neck gets compressed. He gets carted off the field. Last I saw, he had movements in his extremities. Thank God for all that. But as I'm watching that game, and watch that play, I was humbly reminded of, like, football's dangerous. You forget. We get to watch and cheer, ha-ha, kiki. I saw you at the game 2 weeks ago. My dog, it's all fun. We taking videos. But then a play like that is very calming, very humbling. Like, you're reminded of things. I use that to say, in watching Justin Herbert's performance, I was just reminded of the fact of his youth. I was just reminded of, like, because I got lost in the sauce. Oh, my God, Herbert, 14 touchdowns. Oh, my God, oh, my God. But then I was like, wait a second. He's still young. It was just a very calming, just very like, oh, let me chill out. Like, Herbert is amazing.
Yeah.
He's still young. And let me put him in his proper place of, like, he is still young.
See, and now we're going to argue, and we're not even married. But this is how you get into arguments when you're married. We at the same place, but why you here and why you take that way? Like, it's not because he's young he had a bad game. He had a bad game because he had a bad game, and all players have bad games.
Yeah.
Like, Aaron Rodgers had a horrible game last year. He had a horrible game week one.
Horrible game week one.
And it ain't because of youth. Like, we both in the kitchen, both grabbing for the Kool-Aid. But why are we here?
Here's my why.
And you ain't thirsty?
Because we know the what. The what is Justin Herbert had a bad game. The what is Aaron Rodgers had a bad game. The what is Tom Brady last year against the Bears had a bad game, forgot what down it is. But now we got to get to our whys, right?
And
Tom Brady's why could have been it was a short week. They played on a Thursday night against the Bears, etc. New offense.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers' why could have been distractions in the offseason, wanted new players, mad at management, etc.
Week 9 last year, too?
Well, I'm talking about week 1.
Okay. All right.
Herbert's why is not a new offense. Herbert's why is not he wanted Randall Cobb as his wide receiver. So I'm trying to assess the why.
The why.
And the why, in my mind, is attributed to youth. Everybody will have a bad game, but why will you have a bad? You can have a bad show. I could have a bad show because I'm going through something emotionally. You could have a bad show because you was running late in traffic. You could have a bad show because you're going to run through something emotionally. But it's all a matter of the why. The what is easy.
Okay.
He had a bad game.
All right.
But we got to ask ourselves the why, Sal.
I got the why. Don't ever let the Chargers have to cross this country and play that early game. It's a setup. It's a recipe.
It's a setup.
It's a setup. Look, they've won doing that before, I know. But I played for the Chargers. Biorhythms. This is the last point. Biorhythms. People don't give enough respect to biorhythms.
Vegas does.
Hey, man, we are all well-conditioned in whatever we are doing in life. All of your habits, whatever you're about, you have conditioned your body to a response. Your brain doesn't know what right from wrong is. It knows what it is being trained to do, right? And your body as well, because your body responds to what your brain has been told. Now, you have trained your body to be chilling at this time forever. And then your body is told, go get it. Your body's like, I'm going to go. But I ain't going to get it. Coming up, the Cowboys have several reasons to be happy right now. I'll tell you what can stop Dallas from winning this Super Bowl. Uh-oh, Bucky, I think it's coming. That's next. Don't speak for yourself. Acho got the guns out.
I'm going to go, but I ain't going. Let's get back to Dallas, the city that made me and paid my brother Marcellus. They were down by 3 points late in the fourth quarter, but Dak Prescott led a 9-play drive for the game-tying field goal. In overtime, he hit C.D. Lamb, who waved goodbye to the Patriots for the game winner to extend the Cowboys' win streak to 5 in a row. He also suffered a right calf injury on the final play and will undergo an MRI, but he says he will be fine. Bucky Brooks, my dog, now with us. Y'all got to be sure to catch my dog Bucky's breakdown for Week 6 on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com. Bucky Brooks breaking the dog down. I love it. One of the smartest in the game. But anyway, Bucky, hope your intelligence does not regress for this next 10 minutes.
It's a great day.
What is stopping the Cowboys from winning the Super Bowl?
Nothing.
Nothing.
The only thing that I can envision stopping him is Dak Prescott has an injury, is unable to play. But if he's there, they're going, dude. Like, I hate to say that, but right now, like, Dak Prescott is balling out of control. When you go back and look at his last 10-plus games, 5 of them he's had over 400 yards. 400 yards, which used to be a milestone, 300. We're talking about 400 for Dak Prescott. We saw Bill Belichick, who I think we all have said is a defensive mastermind, a genius, a guy who confounds quarterbacks young and old. I think Dak Prescott put up the most yards that any quarterback has done in maybe 619 games. Like, Dak Prescott took the The same guy that I saw, like, Tom Brady was struggling in the cold, but Dak Prescott goes up there and just slices and dices the defense because they used the old game plan. Because remember, I've heard you talk about this, that Dak Prescott was a baby who needed the training wheels. So he had to have Zeke Elliott behind him. So the Patriots said, we're going to take away Zeke Elliott and Marcellus's boy, Tony Pollard. We're going to take both of them away.
Calm down.
We're going to take both of them away. We're going to make Dak Prescott have to win this game with his arm.
And then what?
And, ooh, he cut him up. So right now, if I'm a Cowboys fan, the only thing I want to do before I purchase my plane tickets to come to L.A. for the Super Bowl, I just want to make sure that Dak Prescott, the calf is okay, and he's going to make it through the season. Because otherwise, I'm fully expecting to see them in SoFi.
Right, saw him at SoFi.
That sounds good. I like that take. I like it. It was convincing. It's incorrect, but it was convincing. Dak Prescott is balling out of control. I co-sign that. I am all on board, fully aboard the Dak Prescott train of where he is currently playing. I'm now seeing it with my eyes. My faith has become my eyes. However, something can stop the Cowboys. Something will stop the Cowboys.
Oh, God.
They're in a Cowboys uniform. Mike McCarthy.
Man,
because what I've realized is the Cowboys are winning in spite of their head coach. They're not winning because of their head coach. They're actually overcoming their own head coach's flaws so that they can win the football game. I thought it was just a blemish last year, a mental blemish. I remember Mike McCarthy against the Atlanta Falcons last year. I believe it was week 4. Falcons, we know they're a bad football team last year. Mike McCarthy runs 2 fake punts. One in the first quarter.
Nothing wrong.
Falcons go back and score. McCarthy runs another fake punt at his own yard line. Falcons go back and score. Now the Cowboys got to recover an onside kick and go down and score just to beat the porous Atlanta Falcons by 1 point. But Mike McCarthy, that was last year. Surely McCarthy has grown. Surely he has.
You know he better now.
But then this year, against Marcellus's Chargers, late in the game, Mike McCarthy, you settle for a 56-yard field goal instead of running an additional play. That's fine early on in the season. Mike McCarthy, you're just getting the dust off. But then how come yesterday against the Patriots, a team that the Cowboys are better than, McCarthy, you go for it on 4th and 1, 34-yard line, first quarter. You don't get it. 3 plays later, Patriots in end zone. Now, the only thing that can stop the Cowboys is if the Cowboys have to play from behind. That's not really the best way to phrase it. If the other team gets to play from in front, because now they can run the ball. Mike McCarthy is the only thing, outside the Cowboys' inside linebacking core, Mike McCarthy is the only thing that can stop these Dallas Cowboys. He tried to stop them last night, Sal. He tried.
Oh, he did?
He tried because he made your boy, Greg the Leg, kick a 51-yard field goal. Mike McCarthy, you had all the confidence in the world in the first quarter, 4th and 1. Zeke, just give me a yard, big dog. But 4th quarter, 3 minutes left, 4th and 2. Wait, no, Zeke, no, you can't get me 2 yards. No, you can't. I had all this confidence in the first quarter, but in the 4th quarter, I didn't have none. Greg the Leg misses a 51-yard field goal. If not for the grace of glory of Trayvon Diggs, the Dallas Cowboys lose that game. So Mike McCarthy is what can and what will stop these Dallas Cowboys.
Woo! I don't even feel like a referee. I don't even feel like I got to break a tie up here because I think you guys are on 2 extremes in terms of, oh, book the tickets, come to SoFi again. That ain't going to work out. And then you over here saying Mike McCarthy's going to be the reason they can't even book those same tickets. And I'm here to bring some understanding.
Please.
What's stopping the Cowboys? Simple things like this. It's very difficult to win a championship, right? Let's just start subtle. Let's start simple, okay, Bucky? I know you want to go extreme already. I told y'all. But, Bucky, slow it down a notch. You got a 1 in 32 chance to win in the Super Bowl if you want to keep it simple, but let's get deeper than that because every team doesn't have a 1 in 32 chance, right? Jacksonville got a 1 in 32 chance? Hell no, worse, right? Let's give some of that to the Dallas Cowboys. At the same time, you know why you got to give more to the Dallas Cowboys than just Jacksonville's fair share of winning the championship? It's because they got a leader that can lead them to a championship in Mike McCarthy. Last time I checked, there's only 9 active head coaches with a Super Bowl ring, and we're going to act like this is just coincidence, that Dallas is finally figuring it out. They have found a way when Mike McCarthy arrives, instead of saying, oh, Mike McCarthy's the reason they have found a way. I remind people he was 8-8 his first year. Not a winning record, not a losing record in Green Bay 2006. What happened the next year? 13-3, bang, bang, bang. What happened a few years later? Super Bowl championship once they had the turnover at the quarterback position. Oh, is this quarterback here? And then all of a sudden, you reach pay dirt. I'm with you on this. Michael Gallup has a calf strain. Dak Prescott has a calf strain. Has Michael Gallup, anybody seen Michael Gallup? Yeah. Be careful on his calf strain. We were talking about this off mic a few days ago.
Yes, sir.
Calf strains are... They're silky, as we call them. Like, they sneak up on you, and you're like, where'd that come from? Oh, I can't do much of anything. Be careful with that. But what's going to stop this team? As simple as this. The process. What's going to stop them? Other teams that are ready for that moment. Green Bay, Tampa Bay, going to be in front of them, sitting there saying, oh, welcome to the playoffs again. We've been expecting you. But, Bucky, slow down. Keep those airline miles. It ain't happening just yet.
Oh, my gosh. You guys are so negative. You guys refuse to look into the future. But I told you this. I think I've been coming on the show for 2 years. I told you about Dak Prescott blowing up. I try to give you the indicators. Like, it's all right there. When you talk about Mike McCarthy, typically the common denominator for most of those Super Bowl winners, they have a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. Yeah. Now, I don't want to put the gold jacket on Dak yet because we got to get the MVP before we can get the gold jacket. Yeah. But it's all coming. It's all like spades. Like when you start cutting up one book, you start cutting the other books, but it's all coming. But when I think about Mike McCarthy, and Mike McCarthy, I don't know if he's the greatest coach, but I do know this. Great coaches are made great by great players. And I'm looking out when I see the Cowboys. I see a bunch of great players out there balling. I see Dak Prescott. I see Zeke Elliott, even though y'all disparage him whenever. I look over on the defense side of the ball. Michael Parsons is nice. But, man, that Trayvon Diggs, I mean, every time I close my eyes, like I get sleepy during the game sometime in the afternoon. Trayvon Diggs got another pick. Trayvon Diggs waking me up with picks. And so when I look at this team, we talk about defense, and you're right. A team that is ahead, that can run the ball, it prevents them from playing opportunistic defense like they're playing. However, when you're chasing points like you have to chase with the Cowboys offense, you got to put the ball up in the air. And we know number 7 is one of the best that we've seen do it since he entered the league.
Man, stop that. See, Bucky, sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it. And that's going to be too late. That was deep. All right, here we go. You ever watch the end of Menace? He was like, remember, my granddaddy asked me, did I care? And now I do, but now it's too late. Bow! That's how it's going to end. That's how it's going to end for the Cowboys in the playoffs. Like when they finally know, okay, we got it. It's going to be too late because they can't piece all of this together against a Green Bay team, potentially, against a Tampa team. Let's talk about the Rams. Let's talk about the Cardinals. It's going to get gangster in these playoffs. And I have to correct myself. I said one of 9 head coaches. I'm sorry. Respect to John Gruden. One of 8 head coaches now because John Gruden's out the picture now. That's how rare air you guys are being led right now as Dallas Cowboys players. And they need to respect all of that.
I got this much. I respect that. I respect your take. I typically respect Bucky Brooks, but Sal, me and Bucky got some beef. We got
beef?
I got a little beef.
In the minutes again?
Well, yeah, I need you to lead to the big board. I need Bucky to come with me to the big board. I got some beef.
I seen Bucky talking some smack. I seen Bucky talking some. Let me get that rock.
Look at that CNR.
I seen Bucky talking some smack yesterday on Twitter. Yeah. And we got to square this up right here, right now, because I'm still mad about some things. Now, I know this much. Trayvon Diggs is a dog. I know Trayvon Diggs is a dog. We know Trayvon Diggs is a dog. But you said that this play where my dog, Trayvon Diggs, gets beat, they take that joint to the house. Y'all seen the joint?
Give me that.
Y'all seen the joint. We're just going to play for y'all real time. You tried to tell me in the world that it was on the safety and it wasn't on Diggs. Now, we're going to talk about this. This is what Bucky Brooks had to say.
It's not on him.
Can you read it? Can you read it, Bucky?
That's not on Diggs. The safety missed the play. That should have been a pick.
Ooh.
Now, this part is true. The safety missed the play. That should have been a pick.
Absolutely.
But that's not on Diggs. No, it's a whole lie. Now, let's talk ball. Let's talk ball. Let's talk ball. Right, because I done broke it down for me and you. Now, Bucky, here's what we know. They're in one robber. You and I can both agree with that. It's cover 1. Everybody's in man-to-man. That's cover 1 very simply. Robber, curse. He is the robber. His job is to simply rob anything in the middle of the field. But in man coverage, Bucky, if your man beats you, he ain't beat him yet. One robber, he's robbing that dig. How is it not on Diggs? In man coverage, if your man beats you and Diggs tried to undercut the route, that, sir, is on Diggs. So all I'm going to say is this. I'm interested in your take, but I know this much. And Diggs only got beat when he tried to undercut the joint. How is that not on Diggs?
Okay, so now we don't have an opportunity to replay it, but if you just give me the full screen where I can show you the numbers in the field location, when you're a safety and you're playing cover 1, you're taught, I am responsible from everything from top of the numbers to top of the numbers. If I'm just an average safety, I can cover that area. Trayvon Diggs here is playing man coverage. He's playing outside. So everyone is like, oh, he got beat on the double move. No. He didn't. What he did is a center field roll, a speed turn. That's what DBs would call it. So he whips around. He forces the wide receiver back to, what did I talk about? The top of the number.
Yes, sir.
So now I got Devontae KZ. All he has to do is open his eyes because your boy, Mac Jones.
He stared it down.
He's saying,
he did.
Hey, KZ, I'm throwing it over.
That's true.
Here.
That's true.
All he has to do is go and get the pick. But you know what it is? Some people are scared of being great. He was scared of being great, even though he has a history of being great.
I agree with you that safety is supposed to help. But what is that called, Bucky? It's called safety help. It's not safety responsibility. It's safety help. Okay. So the job of the safety is to help. Bucky, if you tutor me for a math test and I fail my math test, it's not your job. The tutor is supposed to help. The tutor ain't supposed to take the test. So yes, the safety could have helped, but it's on Trayvon.
Throw in the towel! Okay, hold on. No, we're not throwing in the towel. See, because when you play in the secondary, you play with great dudes, there's a thing we call trust and communication. So before the play, you say, KZ, hey, KZ, if I get it, I'm going. And so you got to back me up if I go for this. Now, most DB coaches would tell you, most balls are underthrown, not overthrown.
Yes, sir.
So what Trayvon Diggs has done in picking off those 7 passes this year, he is killing them on the underthrow.
Yes, sir.
So what he does is he's in perfect position, but he got a little greedy. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. So he undercuts it. But he's already told KZ, where you at?
Here's my thing. If I have a lockdown corner, Marcellus Wiley, I got a lockdown corner on this side.
Yeah.
I'm not leaning to my lockdown corner. Let's get the play from the top again. I'm not leaning to my lockdown corner. I'm going to go help Anthony Brown. I don't know Anthony Brown's name. I know Trayvon Diggs' name. Can I get the play from the top, please? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lean this way to Anthony Brown. I'm going to lean to the 2 receiver side. Trayvon Diggs, you're on an island. What an island means is you, sir, are by yourself. I can help you, but don't be mad at me if I don't help you. It's help. Help.
Help. See, now, here's where we're fighting in the DB room, right?
Yeah.
Because you know there's a difference between being a lockdown corner and a playmaker. Trayvon Diggs is a playmaker. He's a ball hawk. So look, sometimes I'm going to give you one, but I'm going to get it back. So don't be mad at me, coach, if I get beat on one, because I'm taking educated guesses to make plays. And so KZ has to read the scouting report. I'm hot right now. I got 7 picks. You just saw me dancing to the end zone. 5 minutes later, you know they're going to come back at him with a double move. KZ has to know, but KZ was at San Diego State. He was a corner that was a playmaker. He has to know that. Look, that's on KZ. That ain't on him.
Can we at least concede to this? KZ could have been better. KZ for sure should have helped. KZ probably should have picked it. But in man coverage, if your man scores, Diggs got to own some of that. In man coverage, if your
don't
man
get it, Bucky.
scores,
Don't do it.
I give him a little bit of that. Just a little bit, because he undercut it. Everything was right to the very end. He got greedy. But when you hot, that's what you do.
That's fair. I'm going to take my little bit of truth. Coming up, Lamar Jackson's Ravens had a big win Sunday. We'll tell you if he's the best quarterback in the NFL right now. I'm going to let you spin it, Bucky. I'm going to let you spin it.
Can we all just get along?
Does that count?
It hit the damn pole. Let's head to Baltimore, where Lamar Jackson's Ravens blew out the Chargers Sunday and now have won 5 straight games. Lamar also passed Dan Marino for the most wins by a quarterback under the age of 25, y'all. The Ravens superstar also has big wins this season against fellow AFC quarterbacks Patrick Mahomes and now Justin Herbert. Bucky is back, but Acho, is Lamar the best quarterback in the NFL right now?
He absolutely is. And the reason he is because every time Lamar steps on the field, he is the best quarterback. Right? Like, people look at it like, well, Lamar Jackson's not the best quarterback. He's not better than Tom Brady. He's not better than Aaron Rodgers. Y'all have to remember, Lamar Jackson, he stepped on the field against Patrick Mahomes, who many thought was the best quarterback, at least at that time. And he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. They win that game 36-35. Then Lamar Jackson last night stepped on the field versus Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, many think, is at least we know is the best young quarterback. Some would argue that he's a top 5 quarterback. He was better than Justin Herbert on that day. Lamar Jackson stepped on the field against Carson Wentz. Nobody's going to argue that Carson Wentz is the greatest quarterback, but Carson Wentz had his only 400-yard game of his career. Lamar Jackson went on to have the first 400-yard game in Baltimore Ravens history in the last 25 years. So what Lamar Jackson is doing is saying, anything that y'all can do, I will do better. Not I can do better. Anything you can do, I will do better. So if Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback on the field every time he is on the field, then for me, for that reason, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback. Other quarterbacks ain't always been the best. Patrick Mahomes steps on the field, he ain't been the best. Aaron Rodgers, he wasn't the best when he stepped on the field against Jameis Winston. Justin Herbert, he wasn't the best against Lamar just yesterday. Matthew Stafford, he stepped on the field against Kyler Murray. He wasn't the best. So other quarterbacks have stepped on the field and have not been the best on that Sunday. But what we've seen from Lamar Jackson every time he steps on the field against great quarterbacks, he too says, I am greater.
Golly, just to do my job, just to say the right thing, I'm going to actually say something that's going to feel wrong to me, which is disparage Lamar Jackson. Because you poured it on way too much, way too thick. Hell no, he ain't the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
What?
Now, I will say he's tier 1. And tier 1 this year is different than tier 1 last year. Last year, tier 1 was like 3 dudes.
Yeah, facts.
This year it's like 7, 8 dudes. You're like, they're all the same, just depending on what flavor ice cream you want to eat that day. Here's the thing, Lamar's tier 1. Don't y'all start. Here's the problem. Lamar Jackson can't be the best quarterback right now because it really is a metric of performance and outcome. By outcome, there's a quarterback that's better than him, right? Is that Kyler Murray? Anybody? Now, by performance, there's quarterbacks better than Lamar Jackson. And that's Kyler Murray, etc. Let's talk about it. Lamar's passer rating is 14th. We were just talking about Dak Prescott entering the MVP conversation, right? Dak Prescott has a quarterback passer rating of 115. Lamar's at 99. Dak Prescott is sitting there like, hold on. If y'all gonna say he the best, y'all better, over here, what do you call better than the best? Whew. Lamar Jackson also 16th in passing touchdowns. We were just over there talking about and disqualifying Dak Prescott once again earlier in the season for not having enough passing touchdowns until now of recent times. He gives the ball away too many times. Lamar Jackson does. 5th amongst all quarterbacks. I don't want to talk about the bad side of Lamar Jackson too long. It's just to give you context, perspective. Lamar Jackson is balling out of control, but he's not the only one, and he's certainly not the best quarterback in today's NFL.
Man, this is different. This is the golden era of quarterback play, and we're seeing quarterbacks come in so many different styles. The packaging is outstanding because we have the traditional quarterback where people want to trump up there. They'll throw out there and say, hey, Tom Brady's still the guy. Aaron Rodgers, hey, holding it down for the older crowd. But, man, these new school quarterbacks, they're doing it. Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. You're looking and seeing Kyler Murray, who Marcel has brought up because Kyler Murray definitely deserves to be celebrated and talked about because his team is undefeated and his numbers validate his status as one of the top quarterbacks. But I keep going back to America's team, and I keep talking about Dak Prescott and what he has been able to do, not just this year, but even in bringing in last year. When you talk about from a historical perspective, 5 400-yard games in 10, his last 10 starts. That is absolutely getting it done because it has always changed in terms of how are we judging quarterbacks? Are we judging them by wins? Are we judging them by their individual statistics? So now...
Let's head to Baltimore, where Lamar Jackson's Ravens blew out the Chargers Sunday and now have won 5 straight games. Lamar also passed Dan Marino for the most wins by a quarterback under the age of 25, y'all. The Ravens superstar also has big wins this season against fellow AFC quarterbacks Patrick Mahomes and now Justin Herbert. Bucky is back, but Acho, is Lamar the best quarterback in the NFL right now?
He absolutely is. And the reason he is because every time Lamar steps on the field, he is the best quarterback. Right? Like, people look at it like, well, Lamar Jackson's not the best quarterback. He's not better than Tom Brady. He's not better than Aaron Rodgers. Y'all have to remember, Lamar Jackson, he stepped on the field against Patrick Mahomes, who many thought was the best quarterback, at least at that time. And he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. They win that game 36-35. Then Lamar Jackson last night stepped on the field versus Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, many think is at least we know is the best young quarterback. Some would argue that he's a top 5 quarterback. He was better than Justin Herbert on that day. Lamar Jackson stepped on the field against Carson Wentz. Nobody's going to argue that Carson Wentz is the greatest quarterback, but Carson Wentz had his only 400-yard game of his career. Lamar Jackson went on to have the first 400-yard game in Baltimore Ravens history in the last 25 years. So what Lamar Jackson is doing is saying, anything that y'all can do, I will do better. Not I can do better. Anything you can do, I will do better. So if Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback on the field every time he is on the field, then for me, for that reason, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback. Other quarterbacks ain't always been the best. Patrick Mahomes steps on the field, he ain't been the best. Aaron Rodgers, he wasn't the best when he stepped on the field against Jameis Winston. Justin Herbert, he wasn't the best against Lamar just yesterday. Matthew Stafford, he stepped on the field against Kyler Murray. He wasn't the best. So other quarterbacks have stepped on the field and have not been the best on that Sunday. But what we've seen from Lamar Jackson, every time he steps on the field against great quarterbacks, he too says, I am greater.
Golly, just to do my job, just to say the right thing, I'm going to actually say something that's going to feel wrong to me, which is disparage Lamar Jackson. because you poured it on way too much, way too thick. Hell no, he ain't the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
What?
Now, I will say he's tier 1. And tier 1 this year is different than tier 1 last year. Last year, tier 1 was like 3 dudes.
Yeah, facts.
This year it's like 7, 8 dudes. You're like, they're all the same. Just depends on what flavor ice cream you want to eat that day. Here's the thing. Lamar's tier 1. Don't y'all start. Here's the problem. Lamar Jackson can't be the best quarterback right now because it really is a metric of performance and outcome. By outcome, there's a quarterback that's better than him, right? Is that Kyler Murray? Anybody? Now, by performance, there's quarterbacks better than Lamar Jackson. And that's Kyler Murray, etc. Let's talk about it. Lamar's passer rating is 14th. We were just talking about Dak Prescott entering the MVP conversation, right? Dak Prescott has a quarterback passer rating of 115. Lamar's at 99. Dak Prescott is sitting there like, hold on. If y'all gonna say he the best, y'all better, over here, what do you call better than the best? Whew. Lamar Jackson also 16th in passing touchdowns. We were just over there talking about and disqualifying Dak Prescott once again earlier in the season for not having enough passing touchdowns until now of recent times. He gives the ball away too many times. Lamar Jackson does. 5th amongst all quarterbacks. I don't want to talk about the bad side of Lamar Jackson too long. It's just to give you context, perspective. Lamar Jackson is balling out of control, but he's not the only one, and he's certainly not the best quarterback in today's NFL.
Man, this is different. This is the golden era of quarterback play, and we're seeing quarterbacks come in so many different styles. The packaging is outstanding because we have the traditional quarterback where people want to trump up there. They'll throw out there and say, hey, Tom Brady's still the guy. Aaron Rodgers, hey, holding it down for the older crowd. But, man, these new school quarterbacks, they're doing it. Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. You're looking and seeing Kyler Murray, who Marcel has brought up because Kyler Murray definitely deserves to be celebrated and talked about because his team is undefeated and his numbers validate his status as one of the top quarterbacks. But I keep going back to America's team, and I keep talking about Dak Prescott and what he has been able to do, not just this year, but even in bringing in last year. When you talk about from a historical perspective, 5 400-yard games in 10, his last 10 starts. That is absolutely getting it done because it has always changed in terms of how are we judging quarterbacks? Are we judging them by wins? Are we judging them by their individual statistics? So now we're seeing like that perfect vortex where you're seeing Dak Prescott not only put the numbers that we say that we want while also leading his team to the win column. I think we have to do it there. It has to be Dak.
For me, here's a clear separation that makes Lamar Jackson the best quarterback in the National Football League. Not just tier 1, but the best. If tier 1 has 8 or so names in it, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. If they're all in tier 1, and we can all agree they're all in tier 1, now you got to figure out who's doing more with less. Okay. Because we're all in tier 1. All right. And Lamar Jackson is in tier 1. But what makes Lamar Jackson the best quarterback in the league is he has 16 players that started the season on IR. His top 2 running backs, Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, gone. His first-round receiver, Rashad Bateman, missed the first 5 games of the season. His starting left tackle, all-pro, Ronnie Staley, out of there. Starting left guard, rookie this year, out of there. When you look at Lamar Jackson overcoming both his top 2 running backs, and they're a running football team, his first-round wide receiver, his all-pro left tackle, his left guard for third-round pick, not to mention Marcus Peters, Pro Bowl cornerback, ain't even out there, and you still keep this Baltimore Ravens team at 5-1. To me, that is the separation. Lamar Jackson is in tier 1 with 8 or 9 other guys, but Lamar Jackson is at the top of that tier.
But we have a precedent set, and it's not Lamar Jackson doing the most with the least. It's going back to the Green Bay Packers, the year that they were 10-6, won the Super Bowl. Do you remember what happened that year, in that 10-6 year and winning the Super Bowl? They had 15 guys on IR. Do you want to talk about the statistics of their passing leader in Aaron Rodgers, who went out there and had better stats on pace right now than we're going to see from Lamar Jackson? I remind you, I do my job so well that I even talk about people I love, and I love you, Lamar. You've had 5 games, 5, with 1 touchdown. That's it. Like, 1 touchdown. 0 interceptions. 1 touchdown.
Passing touchdown.
1 passing touchdown. Yeah,
We're talking total.
Yeah. 1 passing touchdown.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you're a quarterback too. Hey, don't you make him Bill Polian. Don't you try to put him back in the running back. He is a thrower of the football. He had 1 game over 100 passer rating. Aaron Rodgers, who I give it to you that year, had a passer rating of 101. Aaron Rodgers, 28-11. Lamar Jackson, who I love, right now is doing a ton with a little.
I got to fight him. I gotta fight him.
You want to go to the board?
I gotta fight him.
But be real. Look, he's had one game with more than one passing touchdown, and that was Indy all second half. Be real. Be real. That ain't the best quarterback in the game.
That rib.
Right here?
Remember, yeah, protect yourself.
Okay,
protect yourself.
I learned
I got to hit you in that rib. Bucky, on Thursday, me and Marcellus, we identified one of our current favorite quotes. A person of talent hits a target that no one else can hit. A person of genius hits a target that no one else can see. I think we're at a point where we can start to converse about Lamar Jackson as a person of genius.
All right.
Because the quarterback position, we already know what a great quarterback looks like. How many passing yards? How many passing touchdowns? What's your quarterback rating? But what Lamar Jackson is doing is playing this quarterback position at a genius level, a way nobody else has seen before. So I'm not going to confine Lamar Jackson and judge Lamar Jackson based upon talent, because a person of talent is hitting targets we can see. But Lamar Jackson has elevated himself to the play of genius, because we actually haven't seen anything like this before. Like, wait, you're going to beat Patrick Mahomes, even though you're only going to pass for one passing touchdown, but you're going to rush for 100
we have, and you beat that up. See, don't fall for the sucker, the banana and tail pipe. Yes, because when Dak Prescott was going out there, remember when Dak wasn't getting the personal numbers, was getting the winning outcome, you guys were destroying that.
Lamar's
and now we protecting Lamar.
He's getting personal numbers.
No, when they were 13-3. Bucky, I know you know what I'm talking about.
Y'all didn't like when Dak was just...
Y'all didn't like when Dak was just one touchdown and no interception.
I'm saying Lamar Jackson isn't just doing it passing. He's doing it passing, rushing, efficient. Because you knocked him. I'm saying this in response to you saying he's a quarterback still, and he's only given us one passing touchdown. But I'm like, yeah, but if we measure him based upon only passing touchdowns or passing yards, etc.
Winning cures all.
He's doing this thing differently than we've ever seen done.
I think Cam Newton is buzzing me about all the conversations we had about total touchdowns and whatever.
Oh, yes!
Cam, I hit you back. But because we talk about quarterbacks in so many different contexts.
Man.
In terms of, hey, the quarterback, does he need to throw it? Are we taking total yards, total touchdowns and all that? I will say this about Lamar Jackson. The most important category that he wins in and excels in is they win games.
Yes,
when Lamar Jackson is the quarterback, the Baltimore Ravens win a ton of games. And it is because of him. You talk about all the people that he's missing. I will say this. He is QB1 and RB1.
That's facts.
Because their running game goes because Lamar Jackson is the centerpiece of the running game. His ability to run the shell game behind the line of scrimmage with whoever. I mean, look, he might as well put me, you, Marcellus in the backfield. Devonta Freeman, Le'Veon Bell, Latavius Murray. He has all the old dudes in there running for yards and getting touchdowns because everyone is focused on him. So I will give him credit. We can even say he is the best player in football. I don't know if I can say he's the best quarterback in football based on how the position is played and evaluated.
But isn't that... Sal, to me, I have a rub with that. The reason is we got time. Sorry, y'all gonna have to make time. Find it.
I see zeros right there.
Remember when we talked about Kanye and Kanye's new album? And I was like, nah, I hate it.
You did tell me that.
And Sal was like, but you can't hate Kanye's new album because you're trying to compare it to All of the Lights and you're trying to compare it to his old stuff. You got to understand, Kanye has evolved and you need to evolve with them. I don't think we can say that if we want to compare Lamar Jackson to the way we used to evaluate quarterbacks, we have to understand quarterback play has evolved and we need to evolve with it. So I'm, based on that Kanye take, is why I'm like, if Lamar's the best player in football, he's the best quarterback in football, we just need to evolve our evaluation of the position.
Just stay evolved when Cam Newton comes back because he got vaxxed now. And I just want to make sure your ass still evolved when Cam Newton come out there with 8 yards passing, but they win the game. Coming up, there's big news in college football. LSU will have a new head coach next season. We have a lot to say about Ed Orgeron's exit. That's next from Yeah, all that evolution talk. Let's move to college football. Ed Orgeron and LSU mutually agreed he will step down as head coach after the season. The announcement came less than 24 hours after the Tigers' upset win over Florida. Orgeron won a national championship with the Joe Burrow-led Tigers back in 2019, but his team has a 9-8 record the last 2 seasons overall. Acho, what's your reaction to what's going on at LSU?
On the surface, I'm shocked. I mean, this is huge for college football. We have to think Alabama has dominated the SEC since Nick Saban took over in 2007. It's dominated so much so, y'all know they stole a national championship from me when I was at Texas here in Pasadena, California at the Rose Bowl. Ed Orgeron, Coach O, in the middle of Alabama's dominance, the greatest run in modern era of college football, he goes 15-0 in that same SEC, wins a chip. He just beat the number 20 ranked Florida this past weekend. And after that win, we find out they're mutually agreeing to part ways. Coach O is 42-17 in his time at LSU. People would beg for that record, particularly in the SEC. You have a historical team with the likes of Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a historical team, and just 17 games later, you out?
Yeah.
Or at least you have agreed to be out? Mind you, in that one historical season, they won 15 games. It's only been 17 games, and they firing them. But once again, Sal, a Wileyism rings true.
Uh-oh, we got one? Oh,
nobody cares what you're doing. Please, Sal.
Until you're doing what you're not supposed to be doing.
Yes, sir.
Talk to him.
Nobody cares what you're doing until you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And nobody cared at least what Coach O was doing when they were going 15-0. Did nobody care about all that? But then following the 15-0 season and the shortened season, when all of a sudden we look up and you 5-5, now people start to look at the fact that, Coach O, why'd you file for divorce 6 weeks after winning the national championship? Coach O, why are there pictures of you in bed with younger women, pictures of you walking down the streets shirtless, talking to and flirting with women at gas stations? Whether you were doing that or not, while y'all were 15-0, nobody cared because you was doing what you were supposed to be doing. But Coach O, once again, has fallen victim to the truest Wileyism of them all.
Say it again.
Nobody cares what you're doing until you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. 9-8 since winning the national championship. Now everybody cares what Coach O doing.
You ain't lying. Man, only thing that's different from what I have to say, what you said, is I actually saw it coming. You know, you go into the doctor and you got to do your eye test. And, you know, from afar, you just look and you're like, oh, I can see that. And then they say, okay, cover up one eye. You're like, oh. And then you're like, oh, I can see clearly now, right? It starts to distill. It starts to crystallize. This started to crystallize. Reading reports about this. Oh, Ed O is just guilty of going home. This is all this is. And never go full home. And he went full, I'm back at home. Got divorced. Success comes. And this is the problem with going home. This is what we tell every player. Ask Dwayne Haskins. When you get drafted, you go back home and you the man again. At the crib, you are so close to the burial ground of all your demons. And let me tell you what happens when you start digging them up. You start walking around like everybody does when they go to their high school reunion. I'm about to show y'all I'm somebody. All them times y'all tease me for whatever reason, maybe because my voice sounds like that. All them times you tease him because of his appearance, because of his lack of success, whatever you want to do. He had to be on staff with Lane Kiffin before. Let me tell you why I think that hurts. Lane Kiffin like half his age. You imagine somebody half your age is telling you to run around and make sure that my play sheet is glossy for the game. Like, all of those things added up to Ed O finally said, I'm full home, bro, and I'm going to act up. And all he had to do was keep winning, and all this would have been swept under the rug. But now, everybody can see what's under that rug. Good luck to you, Coach O. Coming up, Aaron Rodgers' Packers have had a big turnaround since their season opening loss. Tell you if talks of their demise were overblown. That's next on Speak for Yourself. And she was pregnant. And the Packers season started off with a blowout loss and off-season drama centered around Aaron Rodgers. Flash forward to Sunday, and Green Bay has now won 5 straight games. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Rodgers sealed the win with a touchdown run and was heard shouting to Bears fans, quote, I still own you. Ooh, Aaron in the zone. Rodgers explained the trash-talking moment after the game. Take a listen. I own you.
Sometimes you black out on the field. in a good way. I definitely blacked out from a concussion, which isn't a good way. But I looked up in the stands, and in the front row, all I saw was a woman giving me the double bird. So I'm not sure exactly what came out of my mouth next.
Yeah, like Dave Chappelle, they just giggling now. They so happy that he happy and liking them. All right, so Acho, was the demise of the Packers overblown?
No, it wasn't. I mean, it's so easy for us, Sal, and we do this so often in life. we start speaking from our hindsight perspectives as if we were crazy way back when, or we start speaking from our hindsight perspectives as if we knew everything way back when. The fact of the matter is, the demise at the time was spoken of accurately. The Packers had the worst loss at home to start the season in 50 or 54 years, 38-3. And it's not like they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not like they even lost to the Dallas Cowboys, at least a team of great hype. They lost to the Saints without Drew Brees, with Jameis Winston, who hadn't started a football game in 20 months, kept blowing out 38-3. And not only do you lose, Aaron Rodgers was the reason in which you lost. Goes out there, you're down 17-3, throws a pick. Started the third quarter again, you're still down 17-3, it's still a game, throws another pick. All of a sudden, the game's over. Aaron Rodgers was the reason that the Packers lost, and after all of the distractions, it fit the narrative. I was watching an episode of Criminal Minds yesterday. So I don't watch a ton of TV. It's a show with Shamar Moore. It's a criminal show.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
I was watching an episode of Criminal Minds yesterday, Marcellus. Why
would he do?
While watching the game, they thought they had the right suspect because he fit the profile. The profile was this person, certain height, certain weight. They saw him, they caught him with the weapon. They thought they had the right suspect because he fit the profile. Turned out it wasn't the right guy. Aaron Rodgers and that first week 1 Packers loss, it fit the profile. It fit the profile of Aaron Rodgers played a terrible game, worst opening day loss in 50-plus years. Aaron Rodgers didn't have the help that he allegedly wanted. Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur already going out at it. So the demise, it accurately fit the depiction of what we thought the demise would be. I don't think it was overblown. I think it was accurate.
I think it was drastically overblown. And I know why, because I know people, and this is how people roll. People are the same ones who will go to the store, buy something, get home, don't even have the patience, the time, the understanding to even read the manual. So you know what? Manufacturers figured this out and said, y'all keep breaking these pieces, returning it to us when there ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just the fact that y'all didn't want to take time to know how to build this. Build your argument. Build your condemnation of Aaron Rodgers. So what did they start doing? On top of the manual, they got this little one insert that says, how to get started. Because I know your ass ain't going to read the whole manual, right? And this is Acho, and this is all the reporters in the offseason grabbing the package, ripping it open, and saying, oh, Aaron's not happy. And then they say, all right, that's level A. What's level B? Oh, my God, he had a bad game. Let's glue them together. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers has fallen off. Oh, y'all wrong, because y'all didn't read through this. Aaron Rodgers had a bad game last year and still won the MVP last year. Do y'all remember him against Tampa Bay? That was horrible, Aaron Rodgers. Passer rating the same level. Boy, it's just crazy people get ahead of them skis, man. Just because they see one thing, they see another thing and say, that's how it's going. Then your son can't play with his Legos. Coming up, Russell Wilson did not play Sunday night, but you would think otherwise if you saw what he was doing before the game. We'll tell you if he's keeping it 99 or 100. Next, don't speak for yourself.
Welcome back to Speak, baby. Y'all know what it is on this show. We only know how to keep it 100, but others, they only keep it 99. So each day, we're going to get to the bottom of who's really telling the truth. Case in point,
let's go.
Everybody's favorite guy, Russell Wilson.
Russ.
Y'all know he's on IR with a hand injury, but during pregame last night, he was seen doing a mock 2-minute drill. No football? Well, that's weird. Y'all take a listen. Well, is Russ keeping it 100 or 99 with the matches?
Man, he keeping it $150. You know how Russ does it. Oh, man. See, it's so funny when people hear mental reps and then you actually see mental reps. All of a sudden, you start giggling about mental reps. Bruh. Coach always says it takes forever to get in shape, no time to get out.
I've never heard a man defend a person because of who he's married to. You're sad.
What you mean?
You're sad.
I like the family.
You're sad.
Starting with the wife. That's it for us. Fox Bet Live is next. Respect, Russ. Stay in it.